Hello, you're listening to Ebird Online, and I'm back with another review. I hope you've all had a great weekend and you're all well. And to all you mothers out there, I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. And before anybody asks, yes, my Meghan and Harry video is still winging its way to you. Hold tight, it will be with you before you know it. So my video today is going to be about a young lady who seems to have a Rolodex of men. Each one, it would seem, is just as disingenuous as the last. Yes, that's right, I'm talking about Stephanie. But just before we begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. It's fun over here. Join the Ebird family. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Ebird Online. Right, so without further ado, I give you Stephanie and... Yep, today I think it's Harris. Stephanie and Harris. So it would seem that Stephanie has moved on very quickly from Ryan. J-Lo, take notes. You might think you're quick, but you got nothing on Stephanie. And guys, I wake up every Monday morning and I think, how will Stephanie disappoint me today? She's been very good so far. She never ever fails. And in this week's episode, we see that Stephanie is seriously considering taking Harris to the US. Really, Stephanie? Well, I suppose someone's got to help you spend your stimulus checks. So last week we see Stephanie and Harris go back to the beach house after having dinner and drinks. And Stephanie tells Harris she should have met him first. She also says she should have listened to him when he was telling her how horrible and terrible and horrible and terrible that Ryan was. And Stephanie tells him, I want you to know this isn't revenge sex. And Harris says, I believe you. Do you, Harris? The E-Bird doesn't. And I don't think anybody else with half a brain would either. I think revenge is exactly what this is. But the problem is, Stephanie, for revenge to really work, the person has to give an F, and I really don't think that Ryan does. And also, considering that revenge is a dish best served cold, Harris is literally dripping with sweat. And as they sit down to have a chat, you can see Stephanie's got something on her mind. And she said to Harris, your baby mother was pregnant at 17, and then you broke up, and then you got back together with her. And Harris said, well, it was best to get back together, because we needed to raise the kids. You know, they need a mother and a father. Yes, that's right, Harris. They do need a mother and a father. And I'm glad to have ascertained that you know this. And then Stephanie said, so why did she leave? And Harris said, well, you know, we have our ups and downs and we have different problems. And Harris tells producers, yes, I have 3 kids. 3 kids? I thought it was just 1. Okay, so 3 kids. And then he said he's been with his baby's mum for 14 years. And he says, sometimes she gets fed up with me, so she leaves me. And that's where I'm at right now. And guys, I find this quite interesting. She gets fed up with him, so she leaves him. Not many people that don't have their own income and that have 3 kids get fed up with someone and leave them. Usually, they're at their wits' end with that person before they land themselves in almost certain poverty. So it begs the question, Harris, what is it you're doing that she gets so fed up with you for? I think we all have an idea, don't we? And then Harris continues talking to Stephanie. He says, if she feels she can do better without me, then no problem. If she finds another lover, then I'm just going to say if you want to move on, I'll have to move on as well. And guys, it smacks the E-Bird right between the eyes that Harris is talking in the present tense. So he says, if she feels she can do better without me, if she feels. If she finds a next lover, then I'm just going to say, if you want to move on, I'll have to move on. If she finds a next lover. So in other words, she hasn't said she wants to move on. She hasn't said, well, she's probably said she can do better than you. I think it goes without saying, hopefully she probably can. But if she wants to find a next lover, I'm just going to move on as well. So it would seem she's yet to find this next lover. None of this has happened yet. Guys, I guarantee you this woman doesn't even know she's single. Harris, try telling the truth for once. What you're really saying is, when you got the all-important emergency call from Stephanie, you packed up a bag and you left from your baby's mum's house. You left and you went to see Stephanie, and the next 3 or 4 days it's going to be you soft-soaping Stephanie, saying everything that you think she wants to hear so she'll take you to America with her. I don't think for 1 second that your baby mama has said, I've got a new lover, I'm moving on. I've got a feeling it's not that easy to get a new lover with 3 kids in tow. But Stephanie just nods drunkenly. And then she tells producers, this guy has 3 kids and he co-parent. I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm just going to tuck that information away. And I'm not going to think about it at the moment. Why are you not thinking about it, Stephanie? And there could only be 2 reasons. 1, you're just using him for a few days as a bedfellow before you go home. Or secondly, because if you do think about it and you do want to create a future with Harris, you know very well you're taking somebody else's partner and you're depriving 3 kids of their father by moving Harris thousands of miles away. And you know very well that's not a good look. And then Stephanie said drunkenly to Harris, "I keep wondering what it would be like for me to have Harris in the US with me." And Harris said, "I wouldn't even think about it twice." And he tells producers, "I know that Stephanie is rich and Americans are really rich and they have big houses. So going to America, I think I can do a lot better in my life. I can be right at Stephanie's side and treat her right." Oh Lord, here we go again. Harris doesn't think it's 90 Day Fiancé, he thinks it's 90 years finance. And Stephanie says to production, "I have really strong feelings for Harris. But I just broke up with Ryan." We know, Stephanie, we know. And next time we see Stephanie, she's letting producers know, "I have an unbelievable connection with Harris." Really, Stephanie? And it was such an unbelievable connection that Harris slept downstairs on the sofa. So Stephanie gets up in the beach house and Harris is already dressed and she sits down and tells him she has to check in at the office. And so she calls into work and they let her know that Ryan's mum has called. And Stephanie said, "Oh my God, now they're bothering my staff." And she said, "Just block her, Pam, just block her." And then she said she wants everybody blocked. Cousins, sisters, every single person. And she said, "I haven't heard from Ryan's mum in months." And guys, this really does make me laugh. It lets me know what a swindle all of Ryan's family were on, because Ryan's mum, as you know, was quite rude with Stephanie before, and she didn't even thank her for sending money. And so they haven't been on good terms, but all of a sudden, she's calling Stephanie's office, saying she hasn't seen Ryan for a couple of days. She knows good and well where Ryan is, out on the scrap heap. And I think Ryan and this family are finally ruining their decision to jog Stephanie along. I don't think for one second that Darla's looking for Ryan. After all, how would Stephanie know if Stephanie was in her office where Ryan was? What Darla really wants to know, I think, is she entertaining somebody else at the hotel, or did she just go straight home? And now she's got her answer. Her staff have probably said she's still in Belize. But Stephanie's not going to let a little pest like Ryan bother her. She tells Harris, "Harris, I want a surprise, and I don't care about the cost. Harris has got 6 kids, not 3, and you've got to pay for them all if you want to be with him. Surprise!" Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. Guys, it really wouldn't. But unfortunately, guys, that wasn't the surprise. The surprise was a beach hut at the end of a little pier which looked quite cute, and it was kind of a private dining restaurant. And they sat down, and out of the window there was glorious scenery. It really was a sight to behold, an amazing skyline with a blazing sun, and trees, and the sea lapping at the beach, and all the different birds, and the multicoloured fantastic tropical fish of Belize. But what's Stephanie looking at? Oh good Lord, she's spied a bottle of her favourite wine. And she requests a pint glass and a straw to drink it from. And I really wouldn't be surprised if she requests an oxycontin chaser. And as they're sitting drinking, Stephanie asks Harris about Ryan. And it would seem that our lovely Harris is without remorse. He says he doesn't care and that Ryan has lost his chance. And then he tells Stephanie he loves her. And Stephanie looked drunkenly back at him and said, "Oh my God, the wine is starting to kick in." And then she lets producers know he confessed he loved me, but I need Maria of Terrible Tarot to find out if he's being 100% sincere. "You don't need Maria, I can tell you. No, he isn't." And then she asks him, "Harris, would you stay tonight upstairs with me?" And Harris said, "Of course I will." And so next time we see this couple, it's the following morning, and it would seem they've already called room service for a bottle of champagne. And they lay in bed drinking, and Stephanie tells us that Harris is going to have to do a reading with Maria. And she gets Maria on the line, and we can see that Maria's been using her joke binoculars again. And here goes for another fake reading from Stephanie's psychic sidekick. And Maria said, "Harris, before you have the reading, can I ask you a few questions?" And Harris said, "You can ask me anything." She knows she can ask Harris, but are you going to answer? I'm doubting it. And Maria said, "How can you assure us that you're trustworthy and that you're with Stephanie for the right reasons?" And Harris said, "I always come from the jungle. When things go wrong for Stephanie, Harris is here." Harris, why are you talking about yourself in the third person? Guys, only idiots like the Ebird do things like that. But Maria continues, "I'm very concerned about your baby's mum. I think she's going to interfere in this relationship." And Harris kicks once more into autopilot. "I love Stephanie so much. I will do everything to be by her side. I will look after her so well." But Stephanie drunkenly butts in and she said, "She's asking about the baby mama." And Maria said, "Are you completely done with her?" And Harris said, "Oh, right, yes, I was just getting to that. She fed up with me and she's gonna move on with her life, and so I'm gonna get on with mine as well. She get fed up with me." And Maria said, "If I call her, will she say that she's done with you?" And Harris looked a bit worried and said, yes, she will, yes." "Oh, Harris, I'm not convinced." And Harris took this opportunity to wipe a massive slick of sweat off his forehead. And then Maria said, "Where do you see yourself with Stephanie in, say, 1 to 2 years?" The eBird can answer for Harris. He'll be about 1 to 2 years away from filing for divorce and having a permanent residency in the United States of America. That's where he sees himself. But Harris said, "I'll be her bodyguard. I'll take care of her the right way. I'll clean her yard and I'll make sure she's okay." And Maria said, "That's the answer I was looking for. You have really kind eyes. I think that you're sincere. Whenever I spoke to Ryan, he would always say what he thought Stephanie could do with him." And in other words, she was saying, compared to Ryan, that Harris is great. That doesn't take much, Maria. It really doesn't. Compared to Charlie Sheen, Harris is faithful. And compared to Chris Brown, Harris is respectful. You see, Maria, you shouldn't always compare somebody to the worst person you can think of. And after Maria was gone, Stephanie said, "Harris, what happens when your baby mama sees that you're living the high life in America?" And then Harris said, "Me and my baby mama, we go back and forth, but right now, I'm free." Right now you're free. And it's very interesting to me that he only wants to talk about right now. He doesn't say, for once and for all, we're finished, we've drawn a line under our relationship. Just, right now, I am free. And he finishes up by saying, "My plan is not to have another Belizean woman." And he said, "All I want to do is go to the US, be your fiancé, and work, and treat you right." And Stephanie snuggled up to him. And that's where we leave this couple for this week. And guys, I can't help but to think Ryan says his proclamations of love in the manner of Darth Vader. He doesn't look one bit sincere when he says, "I love you." But also, I couldn't help but notice when Maria started talking about his baby mama, he started sweating profusely. It's all very well noticing he has kind eyes, which in fact I don't agree with, but do you not notice that whenever he's talking, he looks uncomfortable AF? These women seem to have no more idea of non-verbal cues than 10-year-old kids. It's almost as if they haven't been socialised with humans. There were a whole litany of questions that they failed to ask, such as, how old are the kids? How often will you want to see your kids? What work do you think you'll do in the United States? How much money do you think you want to send back to the kids? Harris, where did you come from yesterday? Were you at home at your parents' house, or did you come directly from your baby mamas? And then the big question that I would have loved to have asked, why do you have no family loyalty, Harris? Are you going to show the same lack of loyalty that you've shown to Ryan, to Stephanie when the time comes? I think we all know the answer to that, and that's yes. So guys, let me know what you think. Are you surprised to find that Harris has a whole partner and 3 kids? He has a whole family in Belize. He's still willing to leave and go with Stephanie. And Stephanie's main concern is that the baby mama will meddle in her and his relationship. And she hasn't asked even one question about the kids. And even though Stephanie is massively self-centered, I think if she were really thinking about having a relationship with Harris, she'd ask a few questions such as, how old are they, boys or girls? You know, any information. For all she knows, he might have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old and a 13-year-old. She has no clue. I think she's just stringing Harris along, 1 to piss Ryan off and 2 to have somebody to hang out with until it's time for her to go home. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think she's stringing Harris along? And what do you think to Harris's willingness to move thousands of miles away from his young family? Please let me know in comments down below, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've yet to do so, and you can follow me on Twitter at Ebird Online. You've been listening to Ebird Online. Thank you so much for listening, and I bid you all good day.